I'm shocked to say it was a pleasure to have you here on commentary.
I don't know why that'd be shocking, but it was okay, I guess.
Set for one fall. The winner will get a spot in the Outlast Rumble.
Our second of 2 qualifying matches for the Outlast Rumble. I am your hero, Jason Heat, and I am now joined by our second special analyst here, a man who is very familiar with this competitor. His name, to my left, is Wonderboy Brian Morris. Welcome to the desk.
Well, thank you so much, Jason. What'd you call yourself? Your hero?
Your hero, Jason Heat.
What's that about?
I like superheroes.
Gotcha.
I like alliteration.
I think Fancy Ryan Clancy thinks he's everybody's hero here tonight. He is gracing us with his presence here in South Jersey.
The Fancy Man returns to Super Crazy Pro Wrestling with a mission, Brian. Not only does he want to qualify for the Outlast Rumble, which of course you are already entered into. Let's throw it to Emil.
Introducing first, fighting out of New York, here is Fancy Ryan Clancy.
But beyond getting into the Outlast Rumble, Ryan Clancy wants to prove that his loss last month to Devious Cass was a fluke, that this was about luck and not talent or skill.
It's always brutal to be in a triple threat match, Jason. And of the 3 competitors, Ryan Clancy was the one who everybody can say lost that match. Marcus Mathers not involved in the pinfall or the decision, and that is eating at Clancy. It's been eating at Clancy for about a month now, and as you said, tonight is his chance to make it right.
Well, it's particularly devastating for Ryan Clancy for 2 reasons. One, he has taken this young man, Devious Cass, under his wing. To lose to your protege, that stings a bit. But 2, at the time of that match, Ryan Clancy was the independent professional wrestling champion of the world. And to lose while holding that title, that really has to sting the ego. What an accomplishment and achievement it was for young Devious Cass.
Devious Cass has been living off of that victory.
Fighting out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, with an official weight of 6'7", he is the Indie Killer,
Cass wearing that crown to get under the skin of Ryan Clancy. And Ryan usually pretty unflappable, but it seems to have done the trick.
Well, what do you expect from Ryan Clancy? He's a gentleman. He's dressed like an old-school wrestler. He has an old-school mentality. He has manners here, and Devious Cass comes out with these stupid crowns. He brings a chair to the ring. I mean, what is this going to devolve into?
Devious Cass now refers to himself as the Indie Killer. You can't ignore the timing. He pinned the independent wrestling champion. Now he's the Indie Killer. Feels maybe like a direct shot at Ryan Clancy.
It definitely is a direct shot. And I will admit, Devious Cass, he is as smart as anybody in the Super Crazy locker room. Because if I had something over my opponent, I would exploit that to the max. And it seems as though he's already getting in Clancy's head.
Seems like Cass has a crown for everyone other than the Fancy Man.
This is a joke. Yeah!
Do you think we'll get crowns?
I don't want a crown. My head's probably too big for it anyway.
But that's entirely true.
This is ridiculous. You know what Ryan Clancy has done? I mean, you mentioned his IWTV Independent Wrestling Championship, but this guy was in Japan earlier this year. He's been all over the world. Well, I guess the crown's the only thing he's missing now.
Very excited to receive his crown. And a crown for everyone.
Whoa!
Quick roll up there by Devious Cass, and he nearly scored the pinfall, Brian.
What is going on here?
Head games. I'd feel like you would admire this.
come out here trying to be the fan favorite and trying to appeal to this audience, then trying to steal a victory like that. I mean, come on.
Devious Cass, only 18 years old, already 6 years in the ring, started training at 12 years old, Brian.
Who allowed that?
His family.
No. This is where Clancy has the advantage. Right here, Jason, real wrestling. Headlock applied here, and he's holding on to it. No matter what Cass tries to do, Clancy can, oh, well,
but of course, Devious Cass has been training and learning from the best, like Ryan Clancy, like Jordan Oliver. He is using all of those lessons against one of his teachers. It's really to the benefit of both of these men to try and end this match early. The more grueling this contest, the more a disadvantage the winner is at, because they have to go on to face 26 other competitors, including you, Brian Morris. I'm assuming you're here potentially to sort of scout the competition?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I have first-hand experience with Ryan Clancy in the ring and watching his matches up close. Devious Cass, though, I have not had the displeasure of sharing the ring with him yet.
You might have
wins, exactly. If he wins right here, I might have that displeasure later on.
Great athleticism on display by Devious Cass, but also the poise that this young man shows at the age of 18.
You mentioned how it's in both of these competitors' best interest to end this early. I'm going to disagree with you. It's in Cass's best interest to end this as quick as possible. Fancy Ryan Clancy, I've seen this man have 40-plus minute matches up close. If you don't think he's ready for a war, not only with Cass, but against 26 other competitors, you're sorely mistaken. He's going to take his time with this beating.
Devious Cass is a standard bearer here of Super Crazy Pro Wrestling, a homegrown talent here out of the Skid Row Pro Wrestling Academy. There's a lot of home field advantage and a lot of resistance to people coming in who've made their names maybe on the independents and then taking spots. So there's a very personal stake here for Cass as well.
You never want to teach somebody anything in wrestling and have them take your spot or much less have them beat you in a match, just like we saw last month. I mean, I don't blame Clancy at all for his attitude coming into this.
There's also been a very different attitude to Ryan Clancy of late. There's been a lot more aggression, maybe a little bit more resentment in Fancy Ryan Clancy. It feels like maybe the bloom is off the rose with his feelings about pro wrestling.
All I know is Ryan Clancy's usually wrestling circles around his opponent, and Cass got the better of him in a very technical wrestling exchange right there. That's a rarity.
There's a reason that luminaries have taken Devious Cass under their wing and now raining right down onto the head of Ryan Clancy. Okay.
That's right.
Monkey flip. Classic offense, a real throwback style by Ryan Clancy.
Clancy's so adept. He took 6 punches in that corner, straight to the head. The referee doing nothing, and now he not only takes advantage of Cass trying to play into the crowd's best interest, he's complete control.
The elegance of execution really playing to his strengths, grinding the jaw of Devious Cass on that cover. Devious Cass now struggling to breathe. You know, when you grind your hand, your wrist into the nose, into the mouth, it really brings all the fluids to the face. It makes it so much more difficult to maintain that cardio and that breath, Brian.
Interesting just looking at what Clancy wears to the ring. He's got those short boots, those socks, but no knee pads, and when he's able to grind those joints into your face, into your other parts of your body, that just brings that little bit extra, something that I don't think people think about when they look at somebody like Clancy who isn't covering up his joints. He's not wearing knee pads, he's not wearing elbow pads, not even wearing wrist tape. He doesn't need all that to be successful.
Not a lot of pomp, not a lot of circumstance. Ryan Clancy is pure technique. Doesn't hide behind anything. He is what's fancy about him. And really changing the pace of this match. You mentioned grinding Devious Cass. Oh no! And Clancy's hand just smacked right into that steel post, Brian.
Now, Jason, answer me this. What happens if they both get counted out? What happens if they both get disqualified? Do none of them enter the Rumble?
I think you may have one less member of the competition.
Well, that's what I'm rooting
And Devious Cass seemingly waiting for the 6-7 call to enter the ring. It's a generational difference, I think.
for. I think so. I mean, it's not even my generation. I just think he's 18 years old.
Yeah.
It's not my generation.
No.
Look at this.
Submission hold applied. Sharp shooting here by Fancy Ryan Clancy.
Devious Cass familiar with this hold. He recently was invited down to train at the Dungeon 2.0 with Natalia Neidhart. I'm sure he learned a thing or two down there, but Clancy didn't have to get that invite to apply the sharpshooter beautifully on Cass.
And now holding on, forced to relinquish before 5, but that's that new attitude of Ryan Clancy, keeping that hold on as long as he legally could.
4 extra seconds in pain. When you reach for those ropes and get those ropes mentally, you're expecting that hold to be broken. You're expecting to be out of trouble. Not with Clancy. Kept that hold on and delivers a brutal chop.
And this is what Clancy does to someone he genuinely likes. Imagine what Clancy does to someone he loathes.
I'm not saying that you hit your friends harder in pro wrestling, but I think it's just he knows exactly what Cass is going for. He knows that he's got to watch out for that super kick, and in the same respect, Cass has to watch out for that drop kick.
There's also an old saying in wrestling that you're not in this business to make friends. You're in this business to say things to people's faces and then talk about them behind their back. I know you're familiar with that.
I thought it was in this business to make money. I would never do something.
I have heard that you are quite the fan of tea.
Look out!
Beautiful clothesline there by Devious Cass. Now bringing the strikes right to the face of Fancy Ryan Clancy. Dragon suplex, and not only the pace, but the momentum of this match has completely changed in an instant.
Just enough time to recover. Clancy catching him with that back elbow, and now a fireman's carry. Nope.
Ryan Clancy wants to prove it was a fluke. This is shades of Ryan Clancy. Classic professional wrestling offense, an airplane spin to take the Fancy man off balance.
Now, what kind of damage has that done to both competitors, though? What?
And the most devastating dropkick in the business applied to the wrong person.
What is going on here, Jason?
Devious Cass is taking advantage because Fancy Ryan Clancy hit the wrong man. And now he thought he won the match, and finally it's starting to dawn on Ryan Clancy. It's not done. In fact, he may have just risked a disqualification.
There's that super kick we were talking about. Cass avoided the drop kick. Clancy could not avoid the super kick, and if that ref ever gets up, this thing's over. Oh, wait a second.
Second ref in, but it may be too late. And it is. Devious Cass should have had this match won, but with the referee incapacitated, we need to wait for a second official.
Cass did this to himself. He wanted to apply that airplane spin. He's the reason that Clancy knocked out the first official, and he's the reason he didn't get a 3 count right there.
You could be as dizzy as you want. If you can't see a zebra striped shirt, that is a bigger issue than simply losing your balance.
All right, after I win the Rumble, come in the ring, I'll give you an airplane spin, and you tell me which way's up.
I will pass.
Look out, huge.
Top rope, misses.
Oh!
But Clancy does it, turning Devious Cass inside out and upside down. Deep stack.
Done. Oh.
And Devious Cass kicks out with authority despite being thrown right on his head and neck.
I've seen Ryan Clancy wrestle for hours, and it is a rarity that he stacks maneuvers up like that in rapid succession and does not get a victory.
Wrenching the neck with his legs, and Ryan Clancy is now dismantling Devious Cass joint by joint.
Wait a second. Cass introduced that chair, and Ryan Clancy might reintroduce it here.
We may have to switch the nicknames because this doesn't feel fancy. This feels devious. And Ryan Clancy is assuring the referee that he's not planning to use the chair. If you're not planning to use it, why would you bring it into the ring? And it's a distraction.
This is why. This is why, because he's the smartest wrestler in super crazy pro wrestling as far as I'm concerned. Oh no.
And thankfully, the referee sees what Clancy has in mind and saves the neck of Devious Cass.
Oh boy.
Ryan Clancy's losing his cool.
Drop to hold into the chair. Oh!
Shining Wizard immediately follows, and Devious Cass is moving on. Ryan Clancy was hoisted by his own petard, Brian. He brought not one but 2 chairs into the ring. It should be no surprise when his head is the one that hit one.
Devious Cass was the first to introduce that chair in the ring introductions, Jason, and that had to have stuck with Clancy. I hate to say it, but Devious Cass seems to have Ryan Clancy's number. 2 consecutive victories over the Fancy Man in 2 consecutive months.
But there's no time to celebrate the victory. Devious Cass has to head to the back and prepare because now he has to try and outlast 26 other men in the Outlast Battle Royal to become #1 contender to the SKPW